So hi everyone, we're here now with the Dean of HEC Paris, Mr. Eloïc Peyrache.
Hello.
Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you.
So we just had a very fascinating panel with the Business School for Climate Leadership with other fellow business schools. And maybe let's start with a bit of a challenging questions, but some people might accuse us at HEC for training generations of leaders in economy and business that were not particularly aware of the climate crisis and at some point made it worse. Would you say that business schools are responsible for the way that some leadership was made in management and business?
We think we're all responsible. Companies are responsible. Some of the things happening, business schools are responsible. Schools globally are responsible. Now the thing is, to what extent we transform that into being part of the solution. So that was, I think, the whole purpose. Knowledge is different today. What we understand is different today. So clearly, we still believe we have a responsibility in changing some of the things for the future. And among the responsibility is, how do you look at business model? How do you look at creativity? How do you foster some of the innovation that is necessary? How do you make sure that the students who are at the school today understand the issue? I think it's very important in business school that we speak the language. We speak the tech language, we speak climate, we speak Python, we speak AI. And because if you don't understand what you're talking about, no way you're going to find a solution. So I think it's really what I love in business school and in a place like HEC is I think we're very much solution oriented. So the time is not to say, okay, let's criticize and find goat scape, right? The idea is, okay, what do we do to make sure that we have a positive impact in the years to come?
Thank you. And the fact that we are collaborating with other business schools, I think it must mean that we are targeting systematic impact, right? So what do you think is, in your opinion, the main blockers or the main challenges to creating systematic impact in the way we do business today to respect more the planetary boundaries?
Well, as you said, climate is not a local issue, right? It's a global issue. So HEC alone, I think it didn't make much sense, right? So this is the reason why we decided to jointly get together and create more values together, have a joint voice, a common voice on the topic, and make sure that we have a broader impact. So it started with Europe. Then there is a cluster in Africa, a cluster in the Middle East, and a cluster in some other places. Now, the thing is, one other thing we're trying to do is how can we align as much as possible business opportunities and positive impact on our society at the goal, when we talk about inequality, but also on climate. If we oppose them all the time, it's going to be very difficult to move on because there will be forces very strong to go towards, the economy, not necessarily the rest. So the thing is, there are many solutions to align both of them. You want, if you don't act on climate, you will have a hard time recruiting the talents of tomorrow. You maybe we're going to have less consumers, right? So those are easy way to align the two. There are much more complicated ways to align the two. But this is what we need to do, because if you do that, you'll go faster. Otherwise, as you said, there will be forces that would go in the other direction.
Yes, and at HEC we have masters like SASI that are focusing on sustainability, but we also have more traditional masters in finance, in marketing, in economics. How do we make sure that even in these more traditional programs that are not centered per se on sustainability, the students still understand, the basics and the core of what is needed to shape a more sustainable tomorrow?
I think this is a great question. We created what you call SASI, so sustainability and social innovation, more than 20 years ago. So 20 years ago, it was really a lab where we could experiment a lot of things, right? Now the challenge is always the same. If it's one major in a portfolio of major, it means that you choose that one, you don't choose the other one, and vice versa, right? So that's how it started. We learned a lot from all the experiments we had in SASI, and the idea is how do we bring it to the global perspective, right? So the idea is you incorporate in the core curriculum, you change all the courses. It's the same for the Master 1 curriculum. Either you said, we don't change the classes and we have one class aside that talk about, okay, let's have a different perspective, or you decide to change all the courses. It's much more complicated to change all the courses, but this is the decision we've taken, say we need to change all the courses. And we'll have to change them every year almost, right? Because years ago, you would do a curriculum review every 5 years. Now things move so fast, you need to review them on a regular basis. So the idea is, it shouldn't be only one place where we talk about this. We should make sure that, in any major, in the core curriculum of the program, we really dig into it. It's not easy, but it's because it's not easy that it's interesting and we need to do it.
True. And last questions. Some people my age in their 20s, they might feel climate anxiety, they might feel like they're powerless, they might feel like when they work they will be at the bottom of the management and the top management will not listen to them. So what message of positivity and empowerment do you want to share with them so they know that they have an active role to play in shaping a better tomorrow?
I mean, you're right. There is a risk and a tendency to talk about the problem. And the more you talk about the problem, the more you create, anxiety. So the thing is, we need to talk about the solution. I attended many speeches and many talks where people were talking about the problem, and I had entrepreneurs around me and activists around me who really stood up and say, can we stop talking about the problem and let's talk about the solution. So you want positivity, let's talk about solution. Let's find a solution. And to find the solutions, you can be young. Look at HEC, we have so many entrepreneurs, they start the company while they're still on campus, right? So you can really create a company that would have an impact tomorrow. And I strongly believe that the talents that are graduating right now are so important for companies that they need to listen to you, right? They might be constrained, there might be limits, there might be forces that would go in different direction, but talents are so important in companies that you have a voice in the company. So again, I think we understand the problem much more than years ago. Maybe some don't, but I think globally we do. So to be positive, let's focus on solutions. And this is what I think is great in a school like HEC, is that the DNA is really about solution, right? Whether it's geopolitics, whether it's climate, whether it's anything, right? The idea is let's get together and let's find a solution. And when you have this entrepreneurial mindset, you can do a lot. So yeah, I am positive as soon as the business realize that.
Thank you, Eloïc Peyrache, Dean of HEC. Merci beaucoup.
Much.